This is your invitation to the writing practice. So I invite you to get a journal, something that is bound together, something that has some containment to it. I remember as a little girl, I had a diary with a little lock. If you've got one of those, go for it. Otherwise, just some expression of uplifting your thoughts. I used to just write anywhere and burn it, shred it, throw it away. Now I actually have these beautiful journals. This is one about the moon cycles that I love, and it has a little gold reminder of where I am. And my son and I got some new pins the other day. These are Ink Joys from Papermate. They're thin, they have a fine point, and we got different colors, which is fun. So invite in the element of joy, the element of happiness, the element of gladness. Remember, this is the March Gladness 21-day stretch here. We are inviting in joy. We are inviting ourselves to come home to ourselves. One way we do that is through writing longhand. So you can do this on the computer if that's absolutely where you have to do your writing, go for it. I'm not here to tell you that there are certain hard and fast rules in order to have the best relationship with yourself. No, no, no. I'm here to give little hints and nudges and kind of encourage you along the way. Writing with the hand, writing with a connection in a direct way to my heart accesses something deeper in me than the keyboard. That's me. I've come to appreciate typing because it uses both hemispheres of our brain, because we're using both hands, and I know the sacredness of handwriting. I know the sacredness of penmanship and script and cursive, because a lot of kids this day and age aren't learning that. They don't know how to read it, they don't know how to write it. It's a bit of a lost art. I digress. Back to the writing practice. Open up your journal. Feel free to date it. I would love for you to put day 1 on day 1, March 1st. And you are going to have 6 writing prompts. You're going to do these same prompts every day. You're going to start here. You're going to form a muscle memory, a foundation, a reliance on a consistent writing practice. The first writing prompt: as I'm sitting here, I'm experiencing. You'll notice I'm standing. So as I'm standing, I'm experiencing. Get as particular about that as you want. As I'm here, this is my experience, my thoughts, my feelings, my bodily sensations, whatever arises. There's no accuracy contest here. There's no right or wrong. There's an invitation to dive deeper into yourself. This awareness building process is foundational for coming home to yourself. You've got to trust yourself to no longer abandon yourself. As I'm sitting here, I'm experiencing. The next sentence stem: where I'm from. Some of my clients get tripped up here. No need get tripped up. No need make this harder than it is. It's a very simple, when you hear these words, what's the first thought that comes up? Go there. Write. Write without picking up the pen. Write without analyzing. Write without crossing out and editing and deleting. Just write. Where I'm from can be quite literally where I'm from. I'm from Florida, the land where fruit fell from the trees. Go there if you want. It could be where I'm from. If I'm writing this first thing in the morning, what was my sleep world like? What was that dreamscape offering me? What was the quality of my restfulness upon awakening? Did I remember to smile upon awakening? Where I'm from, I smiled even though I didn't feel like it, before my feet hit the floor. Write it down, where I'm from. Third prompt: what matters most? What matters most? Gosh, I don't know that yet. Okay, pause. Let's back up. Try this one. Where I'd like to be at the end of the day. So we're taking a very small slice of your life, a 24-hour slice, maybe a 12, 15, 16-hour slice if we're just doing our waking hours. Where I'd like to be at the end of the day, where I'd like to be before my head hits the pillow tonight is. This can be a state of mind. This can be getting something done. This can be a physical, I want to be somewhere else. I want to take myself on a hike and come back and have an Epsom salt bath. And where I'd like to be at the end of the day is tuckered from my big hike. Maybe that's it. Write down, as I'm sitting here, I'm experiencing where I'm from, what matters most, where I'd like to be. If you didn't know the what matters most, just wait, because as you write these other ones out, that will come more and more evident and clear to you. One thing I can do to help get me there. What do I mean by this sentence stem? This is thinking about your intention for the day, your mini goal, your aspiration. One thing I can do to help get me there. If my intention is to be tuckered from a long hike, one thing I can do is carve out 3 to 4 hours in my day where I don't have appointments, Zoom calls, phone calls, needing to be on, and I can go offline. I can go into the woods. I can go onto the trails. Do the one thing necessary in order to move the needle further along in the direction of where you want to be. Just one thing. And finally, the final sentence stem, which is probably the most important, in my opinion. One thing I appreciate. Some people get stymied here as well. So start with yourself. One thing I appreciate about myself today. For me, I'm showing up to do this recording even though I have a sty in my eye, and I was reminded of that when I said stymied. There's probably some connection in those words. Have to look that one up. One thing I appreciate about myself, one thing I appreciate about, and I want you to name the first person you see in your day. It could be a live in-person person. It could be your pet. It could be your boss on a Zoom call. Whatever energetic being, sentient being that you have your first interaction with on the day, I want you to write down what you appreciate about that person. Then I want you to write down what you appreciate about the last person you had an interaction with yesterday. Maybe the same person, you get to dig in there and come up with a couple of them. And then I want you to give an appreciation about your future self. What? So you'll notice I'm turning these 6 sentence stems into a little bit beefier of a writing practice. That's because the invitation is to go deep here. What do I mean when I say one thing I appreciate about my future self? This is a really cool practice that my friend Rob taught me. He's one of my paddling buddies. He said that he and his wife took a whole journal, and on one side of the page, they wrote down their gratitude list, all the things they appreciate that happened that day. On the right side of the page, they wrote all the things they appreciated about the future that would come to be, and they wrote it in the present tense, as if it were happening, as if it was happening, whatever the right verb is there. I love to write. I'm not an expert on grammar or punctuation. Just read my book, Moonshot, and you'll see what I mean. And I completely and deeply love and accept myself. I forgive myself for the editing errors that are out there in the world, and it has been a huge, refreshing breath of fresh air to no longer expect myself to be perfect. So, one thing I appreciate about myself, and I'm going to give you an example here. One thing I appreciate about myself is, as my second book is published, I am not judging it according to how many readers I get. Boom. That's not quite it. You know why? Because there's some negativity in there. Did you hear it? I hope it's okay that I'm processing in film for you in real time, because this is how it works. That was not accurate. One thing I appreciate about myself as I publish my second book is its wild success, and that it is helping even more people than Moonshot has helped thus far. Boom! That's it. Do you hear the difference? It's focusing on the positive. It's focusing on my intention of writing the second book. Because if you don't know this by now, I want to uplift as many people as possible. I want people to have the most massive relational health possible with self, with other, and with spirit. One way we do that is through writing. It has been a personal practice of mine, and I am gently, greatly nudging you, encouraging you to do this thing. Find your journal, find your favorite pen, and write. Start with a few breaths, inhaling, exhaling, letting go. Inhaling, exhaling, being here. Inhaling, exhaling. Now what? I've got your back here. I'm going to write these prompts down. You'll see them at the bottom of each daily email to remind you. You're going to watch these 11-minute videos, and then you're going to sit down with your journal and you're going to write. Or maybe you're going to write first and then watch the video. 20 minutes a day to the true, tender you. Gotcha. You've got this.